Can you really learn your way round a racetrack on a PlayStation thing? So obviously, I had to find out.
Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Tempo and Hot Seat. We are at Lego Maggiore, Daily Race B. One of those tracks that looks smooth on paper, but it's brutal when you're in a fight. Every corner links into the next. Every mistake costs you half a second. And when you're running top split with the best in the world, round your bumper, there's no room for error. You feel every braking point, every gear shift, because one slip and you're getting sent. This was a race from early in the week, starting pole, as we have done all week. GR4 cars, RH tyres, 5 laps, right up my street. Just set a time in the time chart, sit around 25th, 30th worldwide. Been starting all week and wanted to see how that pace translated into a proper race. And that's one thing, time charts are clean, quiet, controlled. You're chasing perfection on your own. And it's silence. Racing chaos, pressure, strategy, and real consequences. Not everyone who's fast in a ghost chase can handle this. Race pace is a different skill. I've got a strong start to the lead, obviously, in pole. But with these G70's, Genesis's, they're so strong. And in this build, Dreamcatcher, one of the fastest in the world in PSVR 2, without a doubt. His consistency is amazing. Every line identical. And those Genesis G70's in the mix with the Citroen are absolute rockets in race trim. Those cars are so stable for the higher speed stuff and brutal on the straights. When one's in your rear view mirror, you feel it. You can see him coming up there. They say there's no slipstream, but I don't know about that. And that's when you realise winning here isn't about outright speed, it's about composure. Knowing when to defend, when to attack, when to just breathe and reset. Maggiore rewards rhythm and punishes impatience. You can't just drive fast, you've got to flow with the track. Once I settled down, found my rhythm again. I mean, I dropped down to 4th in lap 3. Or this lap, I can't remember, but I do find my way back. And that's where experience shows you don't need to dive bomb when you can force mistakes instead. When you hold your nerve, hit every break point and keep them behind all the way to the line, that's the best feeling in the world. You didn't need to win on power, you won on control, discipline and focus. And that's what GT7's all about, not chasing ghosts, but racing people. Real pace, real pressure, real respect. So shouts out to Dreamcatcher and Alfie in this race. Now let me tell you, these races were tough. Every race we've done this week has been stacked. It's been hard fought driving. And when you're driving, it doesn't even feel like a race. It feels like survival. And the biggest threat, those bloody Genesis G70's, they've got torque for days and they love this track. Maggiore's long uphill section to the monster straight down to the hairpin, that's where they come alive. And you can feel it every lap, that moment when you're flat out up the hill and you just know these G70's are coming up behind you and clawing their way closer to you with that turbo grunt. And it's annoying, it really is. And DC has done it to me every race. But that's the challenge, I love it. The Citroen might not have the same straight line pace, but it dances through the corners. It's all about the momentum, keeping the flow, hitting your lines perfectly, carrying speed where others break. And then comes the real test. Just staying in that slipstream, making sure you don't make a mistake. keeping up with the pack. Don't let them get away. And it's all about picking your battles, the bends, just enough to hold your position without killing your exit. One mistake, one over defensive line, and your rhythm is gone. And the Citroen, it allows them consistency, so I can't afford to overheat the tyres or scrub speed trying to block every attack. Sometimes you just got to let them go. But when you do hold them off, when you string together those perfect laps, when you keep that gap steady through the straight and they start to fade away in the mirrors, that's the best feeling in the world. Because you know you won by skill. And honestly, Maggiore reminds me a lot of Kyoto. Both tracks flow beautifully. They reward rhythm and punish impatience, like I say. When you're in that zone, you're not thinking about DR, you're just driving. Every apex, every brake point, every ounce of grip matters. So yeah, 25th worldwide, Citroen has done me wonders this week. These races have been some of the toughest I've done in GT7 this year, and it's been a pleasure. So I hope you enjoy the race, and I hope you've enjoyed me getting hounded by these G70's. If you have seen me in the race this week, shouts out to you, and I'm sorry I've taken all your DR from you. Until next time, take care, make sure you like, subscribe to the video, and we'll catch up soon on track. Till next time.